So we could be pulled into a world war that involves Xi Jinping or whoever else. And
my take on it as just a lawyer in New Jersey. Okay, I'm not a military affairs expert, but I don't believe China considers it worth it to them to get involved in this militarily. I don't think Russia has the capacity, but none of that.
China's not going to get involved.
Don't you think China could get involved with Taiwan? And then Biden had said that we will militarily defend Taiwan.
Yeah. And then, they've said we can afford 3 wars.
I mean, could we potentially be spending in Ukraine? We already have guys on the ground in Ukraine and Kyiv, like the special forces guys. Could we be spending and like having guys in the Middle East and spending and having guys in the South China Sea? That's a likely scenario? That would look like a world war to me.
So are you saying that China would opportunistically,
yes,
say, well, for the U.S., all right, so
which then results in Vietnam losing it because China's already been blowing up Vietnamese fishing vessels, claiming the South China Sea is their own.
South China Sea is a gigantic issue.
And then you get Australia, then you get South Korea, you get Japan. The region erupts. Now you have massive regional political warfare, hot conflict in Southeast Asia, in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe, world war.
And didn't we just give Australia or sell Australia a bunch of nuclear subs?
Well,
I feel like that happened.
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
I vaguely remember the details, but I do know that the U.S. has been working with Australia specifically because of China and Taiwan. The U.S. needs base of operations for the region. What people need to understand when it comes to Taiwan is that Taiwan is, like 70 miles or something off of the coast of mainland China. So for the U.S. to be able to defend Taiwan, you need a place to have your ships and refuel your planes. And that is massively difficult, if not impossible, considering mainland China is literally right there. And they're going to have an endless supply, stack it all right next to the shore. And they're going to be like, I can do this all day. Now, if they move on Taiwan, the fear is that Japan's going to lose it. South Korea is going to lose it. Vietnam's going to lose it. Then you've got all the other smaller countries. You've got Indonesia. You've got Singapore. You've got the Philippines.
So, but is the argument that they would otherwise not do this if the U.S. were not paying attention to what's going on in the Middle East?
If we weren't, my feeling is like, when I think about China being opportunistic, I think if the U.S. weren't so extended, they wouldn't have the opportunity to go about doing that. Yeah,
I hear that.
But I do think that China moving on Taiwan is an inevitability. The issue is just that the U.S. seems to think, Joe Biden, Janet Yellen, we can afford 2 wars. We can afford 3 wars.
Well, yeah. Do they believe that we can afford 3, right? Like, what better time is there to wait? Are they literally waiting for a third conflict? They're like, oh, we're not going to go on the 3rd one. We're going to go on the 4th one, right? Like, is there a better time for them to do that when we are as overextended as we are right now?
Are we overextended?
I believe in
what way?
Like, I believe
massively.
that, yeah.
No. I don't mean an adjective. I want to hear, I want metrics.
Are we
financially? Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Oh, financially?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that we just print money now. I didn't realize that was a factor.
Well, when they're talking about it, when they were talking about financially, we can afford 3 wars when we know that we can't.